Previously on Dune, Baron Fat Bastard teams up with the jealous Emperor to get rid of House Atreides. They send them to the planet Arrakis on a special mission which turns out to be a trap. Duke Leto tries to neutralize Baron with a kamikaze garlic burp but fails, and Leto's son Paul with his hot mom Lady Jessica join the local Fremen tribe. We start off with the old-ass Emperor and his daughter Florence Pugh playing space chess. Baron's nephew Rabba gets a medal for being a proper cunt in the last movie, and Duke Leto's portrait is being burned. Then we got Paul and Jessica along with Fremen ambush some Harkonnen soldiers. They squeeze out their body water and dump them to sandworms. Meanwhile, Rabba bashes this guy's head and throws a temper tantrum cause he's on his periods or something. Paul and Jessica get to the Fremen siege where they receive mixed reactions. Some treat them as unwanted foreigners, others see them as chosen one messiah types. Stilgar convinces the elders to give them a chance, then he asks Jessica to become their new reverend mother cause the old one's expiration date has passed. He goes, "Wanna be a reverend mother?" "Nah, I'm good." "Wanna drown in this pool?" "Reverend mother then. Sounds good." Now to become a religious figure for Fremen, Jessica drinks a sandworm pee, which is a poison that gives her knowledge or some shit, but apparently she was pregnant, so the unborn baby gets some of it too. Stilgar's like, "It's a sign. He's Lisan al-Gaib, the savior." Some Fremen agree with him, but others go, "That's a load of crap." They start arguing, but Paul is like, "I'm not the chosen one. I don't want to lead you. I just want to be with you." So Stilgar goes, "Ah, see? He's so humble. That's what Lisan al-Gaib would say." Jessica tells Paul that he also needs to drink the worm piss, but he's like, "Yeah, right, whatever." Paul starts learning how to survive in desert. This girl Chani teaches him everything he needs to know, including how to ride a sandworm, and in return Paul lets her ride his sandworm, if you know what I mean. The Fremen sabotage bunch of Harkonnen spice mining operations. Paul fights honorably and gains the respect of Fremen. In the meantime, Paul's mom Jessica starts convincing more and more Fremen that his son is the chosen one and he'll save them all. Baron gets super pissed about spice production problems, so he calls Rabba and goes, "Have you ever been raped by a 400-pound bald man?" "No, uncle." "Do you want to?" "No, not really." "Then deal with the Fremen." Rabba organizes a special military operation against Fremen, but Harkonnens get smoked and run away. Cut to Harkonnen planet where some Bene Gesserit witches are checking out this guy Fade Ratha, who's Baron Harkonnen's younger nephew. He's a psychotic douchebag that loves to kill random people, including his own. We see Fade fight some Atreides prisoners in the arena. Then Baron offers him to take charge of Arrakis cause Rabba turned out to be a pussy. Back on Arrakis, during Fremen attack on some spice smugglers, Paul meets Gurney, who used to be his dad's general and survived the events of the previous movie. They catch up with all the shit that happened, then Gurney shows Paul his dad's nuclear arsenal that was hidden in some cave. Meanwhile, Lady Jessica goes to this temple where this hobbit-looking guy squeezes piss from a tiny sandworm. She tells the guy that soon a man might want to drink it and he should let him do that. The hobbit explains that it's forbidden, the piss will kill any man who drinks it, but Jessica goes, "Do it." Cut to Harkonnens and newly appointed Fade bombing the shit out of Fremen sieges. Baron's like, "Wow, why didn't we think of using artillery? Cause you're a bunch of dumb fucks." Then Fade makes Rabba his little bitch for failure and pussiness. So all the Fremen north of these sandstorms are forced to emigrate to south. Realizing that the shit is getting real, Paul decides to go to that temple and drink the worm piss. He sees visions of his unborn sister, then he learns that Lady Jessica is actually Baron's daughter, which makes Baron his grandfather, which makes me Snoop Dogg's cousin. Don't even ask me how that works. In the south, all the Fremen have a big meeting where only leaders can speak, so Paul goes in there like a gangsta and is like, "Listen up, motherfuckers, I'm in charge now." At first, Fremen aren't happy about his cockiness, but then Paul proves that he's the chosen one by sharing everyone's little secrets. He goes, "This guy scratches his balls with his wife's toothbrush."
"Please don't tell my wife."
"You love watching Japanese girls puke in each other's mouths."
Is that okay?
So Paul tells all Fremen to prepare for war, then he sends a fuck you letter to Emperor himself. The Emperor packs his shit and arrives to Arrakis, which makes the Harkonnens crap their pants. The Emperor goes, "Baron, have you been raped by a 70-year-old man?"
"No, your highness."
"Well, you're about to be." "This is all your fault, you pale, overweight, megamind-looking motherfucker." Meanwhile, Fremen surprise attack the Emperor's army using all their forces. They got sandworms from one side and regular ground troops from the other. After a very short battle, Paul and his men take charge of the Emperor's spaceship. Paul walks to Baron and goes, "Hi, Grandpa." "Bye, Grandpa." The great houses arrive to Arrakis to see what the fuck is going on. Paul uses classic North Korean dictator tactics and sends them a message that if anyone dares to invade the planet, he'll use his nuclear warheads to obliterate the entire spice reserves. This Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother bitch is like, "Who the hell you think you are?
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Then Paul tells the Emperor that he's a royal asshole for what he did to his dad. In return, the Emperor acts like an even bigger asshole and tells Paul that his dad was a weak man. Paul says that he'll take the Emperor's daughter Florence Florence Pugh as his wife, and together they'll rule the galaxy. Wait, so basically Paul abandons his beloved Chani, a regular girl from a desert, for a royal piece of ass cause she's a better prospect and she got money? Who said only women can be gold-digging whores? Now, despite that, the Emperor still has to answer for his fuck-ups. So they decide to do Game of Thrones style trial by combat shit, and Fade Ratha agrees to fight for the Emperor. They have a cool knife duel, Fade stabs Paul, but Paul stabs Fade even better, and he's dead.
Listen, I gave.
Paul makes the Emperor his little bitch and announces himself as the new top dog. The great houses refuse to honor Paul as their new emperor, so Paul attacks them and the holy war begins.